Alright everybody, welcome back to Mobile Muckbang. I'm Andrew.
Michael.
Sam.
And today we are at Potbelly. So we are continuing our saga of sandwich adventures. And yes, we are. I would sure hope we are, because if we're not, this is a very convincing replica.
I'm just curious why we're on take 2 for once.
Well. Oh, jeez.
Damn.
And it's not for that reason, I'm just giving them a hard time.
Ooh. Anywho. So, let's start out with our food roll call. Now,
I've got a dream bar and a pizza. I guess this would be called a sub.
A pizza sandwich.
Yeah, sandwich.
the Italian version of the pizza burger.
Yeah, basically.
But I have the Italian.
He's got the Italian, and I've got the wreck. Now,
but I have everything but the hot peppers.
Oh, man. Thank you. We appreciate that.
You're very much an everything kind of guy, aren't you, Mike? You'll have the works. Now, mine is called the wreck, but I don't think it's a wreck. I think it looks pretty nice. So they used to have some really interesting limited time sandwiches where it was like corned beef and pastrami and stuff. But that was only when they first opened here. So, but anywho, this is the wreck. It's a mix of ham, turkey, and something else. I forget what exactly. It says up in the big menu there, but it's also got some Swiss cheese, and I added lettuce and a tiny bit of mayonnaise to this concoction. And I got the large, which is 9 inches. So it comes in increments of 3 inches. There's the half, which is 3 inch, the original, which is 6 inch, and the large, which is
the bigs.
Is it called the bigs?
Yeah.
The bigs. The bigs, which is the 9 inch one, which completely deviates from the standard sandwich model that we know of 6 inch and 12 inch.
It tries to fool you with the original being 6 inches.
You know what? That is kind of crafty. You would think the large would be double the size, given how every other sandwich chain operates. But why don't you guys kind of show for the camera real quick, like what's going on, the centerfolds of your sandwiches. I mean, that one's a pretty stuffed sandwich, if I would say so myself.
I don't remember completely what's on mine, but it's literally just a pizza on a sandwich bread. They are nice enough, and they ask ahead of time without any real cue or anything. If you want the mushrooms on it, that's kind of nice.
That is kind of a polarizing subject, mushrooms.
Oh. Also, cookie? Chocolate brownie cookie.
Oh. Well, hold on a second. It can't be a brownie and a cookie.
Yes, it can.
That's defying several laws.
No,
I didn't realize our country was that free.
No, you make the cookie out of brownie mix.
My mind is being blown. So, I don't know how to respond to that. That's
by being distracted by my dream bar. It's effectively a mix between a granola bar and a cookie.
okay. Well, that's interesting. I went with some chips. Now, as far as I know, and I asked, Potbelly doesn't seem to have any in-house brand chips. So I just grabbed something that was not like your usual brand. Now, I personally haven't seen these. They say that they've seen these at Walmart. I don't know if I've ever seen Gappas? Papas? What is that? Dude, cursive is such an ambiguous art.
Not really.
Zaps.
Zaps? That's a Z?
Yes.
Oh, I was way off. Gaps? Okay. Apparently, that's one thing I've never been good at is reading cursive, honestly.
Really?
Really, really.
My grandmother drilled it into me when I was younger.
We learned it as an optional thing in elementary school, but honestly, the only thing we ever use it for in real life is signatures.
Louisiana, founded in 1985.
Yeah.
Realistically, I do think for writing it, it's a dying art, but I think we should keep it alive for reading it, since honestly a lot of our important documents are in cursive. anybody who is getting into any kind of what's the term?
Anthropology?
Yeah. Study of human past. Definitely needs to
Yeah,
pick it up.
I guess if you're like historical documents when things were written and not typed for that reason. Although, I mean, the only thing practical we use it for is a signature, and honestly, why? It's like, oh, nothing's official unless you make a squiggle. So it's like,
Outdated nomenclature. That being said, people have played with the idea, and literally any squiggle is pretty much good legally as long as they are fairly consistently the same squiggle. You're good.
not even that. What legally defines your signature, like in a document, if we're like authorizing something, is the intent. It has to be a squiggle and the intent, and that's what makes it legally binding. So people who think, oh, I'm going to sign this not my real name, or I'm going to use something that's weird, and they can't prove it's really me, haha. Well, no, you had a witness witnessing you sign it, and the intent was there. Therefore, it's a legal document. There's very few cases. I think only realistically in like cases where a signature is worth something, like a sports autograph or an autograph of any sort, really by anyone famous, is it really scrutinized for authenticity. Like your credit card, where your signature is on the back, there's no one at the bank.
And also, how many people actually sign on the back? Plenty of people do, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, well, I've had a few times where people say we can't accept this because it's not signed. They're like, give me a pen, I'll sign it right now. And it's like, okay, that's good. And quite frankly, it's really just security theater.
Yeah.
No one's at the bank looking to match your signatures. It doesn't matter.
Not as much as we would like to believe in our classes. Just like a lot of other things we were talking about earlier.
With the signing for, like, on the back of the card and all that, I actually know somebody in high school that they signed the back of their debit card with a date.
What?
With a date.
Oh, yeah.
Because of what their name is.
Oh, the name Richard?
No, it's actually Dick.
Well, I mean, that...
I got you, no worries. But,
Richard?
No, not even Richard.
So, his parents just completely bypassed the whole that's an official nickname for Richard?
Yes.
Dude's got some evil parents.
technically, Dick is a real name just as much as any other. Dick Van Dyke?
That's true.
It's
Not gonna comment fully on that because there's more than one part to that.
But, no, like... yeah, I guess you're right. I hadn't thought
Wow,
about that.
we just derailed this whole conversation so quickly.
Yeah, no, the name's just fallen out of use due to slang uses.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Anywho, let's get back to the food. So, I got
Cursive is so important. All of our youth must learn it.
totally. So, I got the regular white bread, and then did you get the multigrain, or which of you got the multigrain?
Yeah.
Same.
So you two got multigrain, I got the white bread. Now,
Why
for a
did
lot
the
of
white
reasons,
people not get the white bread?
I'm not going to dignify that.
It totally just did, though.
In an undignified fashion.
I
So
don't know about that.
I avoid wheat bread simply because a lot of times it just tends to be more dry. And to be fair, I think they are toasting the sandwiches.
Yeah.
So a bread that's usually slightly more dry plus toasted makes it more dry. I say the way the bread is right now, the bread is really good. It's lightly toasted, so it's not like crunchy, but it still feels fresh on this. On the inside, it's still not doughy, but squishy. You know the way bread should be. So it's not dry at all on the wheat.
Not really.
On the multigrain. No. Well, that's good. Now, multigrain is one of those things where it's like supposedly healthier, but at the same time, the amount of processing and sugar and all the additives that go into it, it's not usually any more healthy.
I mean, the reason why it's not so much as healthy is a little bit different. They do have a wider variety of the various things. Sorry. Possibly important? Not likely.
We'll find out after the episode.
Something like that. Suppose I can turn the ring off.
So, what drinks did you guys get?
Nothing fancy, Dr. Pepper.
Half Coke, half Dr. Pepper.
I went with a lemonade. Not a choice I usually make because I'm not really a lemon guy.
Just feeling tart today?
Is that how you describe a lemon? Tart?
You could also use sour, I suppose.
The word acidic comes to mind. But I guess that's not really a way you would describe a drink. At least, I hope not.
Well, if you think about it, all pops are acidic.
Well, yeah, the carbonation, I believe, makes it slightly acidic at least.
More so than most people realize. A lot of people who stop drinking pops for a while will go back and feel like it's actually burning their mouth a bit.
That sounds very unpleasant. But then again, there's a whole section of people that buy food specifically to burn them.
Yeah.
I still don't get it. Why would you eat food that hurts you?
Why do we live in a place where the air hurts our face?
Well, that's purely financial.
Not my finances, but actually, a fun fact for it. You said acidic, and obviously it's lemonade or whatever. For the actual ingredient of citric acid, citric plants are basically never touched. The way they mass produce it is actually a type of mold that they then process.
Interesting. So you're telling me lemon is a cheese?
No. I'm saying they get one of the ingredients commonly associated with lemonade and like orange and stuff like that through mold.
Interesting.
Isn't it?
So let's go back to the mushroom thing, because mushrooms are a polarizing subject. I think mostly because there's a wide variety of mushrooms, and there's definitely ones that taste, in my opinion, very much better than the others. Like, there's like a mushroom called chicken of the forest, because it tastes like chicken. For real.
I don't have a huge breadth of knowledge on mushrooms, I'll be completely honest. I know that, as you say, there is a very wide variety of different types of mushrooms that are edible. But generally speaking, I only really know of the three, technically speaking. And I'm pretty sure two of them are actually the same. There's the mushrooms you get on pizzas and whatnot, and then there's the mushrooms you can get dried up and stuff. I don't know if they're actually different mushrooms.
They are.
Okay.
Well,
I figured they were.
To be fair, there's a lot of mushrooms like that. Okay, like the big ones, like you put on a burger, that's the size of a bun, it's a portobello mushroom.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had those.
I don't think I've had them either. One sandwich place we gotta try is Baba's, because they have a mean Philly steak. Maybe definitely another episode for that. But they have mushrooms that taste like meat. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a mushroom guy. I hate mushrooms for the most part. But there are a few exceptions to that rule.
Likewise, honestly. The first mushrooms I was ever willing to eat, and for the longest time, were fried mushrooms from ground chickens. Don't know why. Every other fried mushroom I didn't like. I wasn't okay with mushrooms on pizzas back then. But
To be fair, I was one of those kids that didn't like cheese, so I took the cheese off my pizza when I was a kid. I know, but I ate the crust. Okay.
what about stuffed crust?
Yes.
Even the cheese in it? Or did you scoop out the cheese of that? I would love to see someone eat stuffed crust pizza with ripping off the cheese. That'd be hysterical.
I don't think I've ever had the cheese stuffed, but I've had the ones that were like double stuffed dough. They were basically a breadstick. And to be fair, my family frequented Pizza Hut more than any other place because back then Pizza Huts were sit down.
They still are.
There are some, but they are fading from existence in favor of pickup and delivery.
I mean, understandable. Most people are just... You gotta cater to the market somewhat.
We went to
With a brain fart?
yeah.
While you're thinking about that,
I remember the commercial.
what was the commercial?
Pizza.
Oh,
Pizza Hut?
yeah, Little Caesars.
Yeah, Little Caesars. Back when they were always found in Kmart.
No, it wasn't Kmart that they were found in, technically. It was, the freaking mouse.
Cubs Foods?
No.
Oh, no.
Chuck E. Cheese. There we go.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. They were always found with Chuck E. Cheese. Because Chuck E. Cheese was actually dealt with pizza, and they usually went hand in hand.
I thought
Okay.
Chuck E. Cheese was a different pizza altogether.
To be fair, I've only been to Chuck E. Cheese once, and it was when I was like 3 years old. My family always went to Haunted Trails.
But that's for
What?
teenagers nowadays.
What really stunk is my birthday's in the cold season, so I never got to ride the go-karts. My brother's was in the hot season, so I rode it then. I remember purposely just trying to get everyone all confused. They had this thing. It was an indoor place. On the inside where it's like a bunch of arcades and a few rides. You know, like at Six Flags, you got the thing, the drop, where it just goes up and then drops.
Mm-hmm.
They got that there, but it's like 2 stories tall, so it's nothing. But I was just screaming at the top of my lungs to look at the people looking at me. It was like, what? What is going on? What is happening to this poor child? It was hilarious. Likewise, my brother and I, when we did go to, not Six Flags, it's in Ohio, I think. They used to have the world's tallest roller coaster. But it was a long time ago. I can't remember what it's called. But anywho, we would go on the most, like, sissy roller coasters,
And
like
scream
meant for little kids, and we would just scream at the top of our lungs. People would be like, looking back and be like, seriously, dude? And we'd just be like, no, not seriously.
So you pretended to be the sissy shop.
No, this was clearly fake. Like, when everyone went to see Paranormal Activity and anything mildly interesting happened, everyone would scream just because they wanted to be that guy. Like, it wasn't a real scream. It was not like, oh, it's like, ah. Honestly, that was better than the movie.
Actually, my favorite movie experience is the Simpsons movie.
So,
the theater actually made a mistake and released it a day early, and I just happened to catch it. So I actually technically caught it a day before release.
spoiler.
More or less.
So, this Zappa's, it's pretty good. I mean, it's
Zaps.
Zaps.
That's
I'm thinking of Frank Zappa.
Why?
Because his name is Zap with an A at the end.
But that's not an A, that's an S, clearly.
I said Zappas. I added a plural suffix at the end.
I
Anyway,
guess you recognize
So, it's not really any better than any other brand of potato chip, honestly. It's a thicker potato chip than Lay's. But, I mean, any sort of kettle-style potato chip seems to be thicker. And that seems to be like what a lot of sandwich shops do with their chips, is they get a thicker chip.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but...
They're more filling.
Are they? I don't know. I mean, I guess technically speaking,
Look at how many grams were in the serving.
I suppose they do have a nice crunch to it, which I guess the crunch is more intense if you're doing that. So, I mean, for what it's worth, if I were to just get the drink, the chips are just a few cents extra. So they really, a lot of sandwich shops really just price them that way because they know you're going to like, okay, if you get one, it doesn't make sense enough to get the other because it's a few cents more. So it's like they know you're going to buy the meal. So, you know, what can you do?
Not order?
I mean, you could, but...
Even at a few cents, I tend to avoid chips for a variety of reasons.
Well, someone had to tire the chips. A volunteer for tribute.
Your teeth are on the line, bro. Your teeth.
What you talking about, Willis?
Chips scratch your teeth enamel.
So?
Okay, if your enamel is that weak,
They scratch regardless of how strong your teeth are. How strong your teeth are just determine how deep.
I mean, I guess anything crunchy can chip your teeth.
Yeah.
So, tell us about the thing.
Like I said, it's a fusion between a cookie and a granola bar.
Okay, but surely there's more details than that.
It's yummy and soft and gooey.
I feel those are prerequisites given the type of pastry you're eating. If it was not soft and gooey, I feel like that'd be a bad experience.
Is a granola bar a pastry?
Well, it's a fusion of a pastry. It's like saying, is a Cliff Bar a candy?
No.
It might as well be.
It's an energy bar.
No, not even that. Technically, it was made originally for hikers to be a small, compact food form that had a lot of vitamins.
It is very dense, but it's also got a ton of sugar. Like, there's virtually no difference in the amount of sugar between that and a Snickers bar.
Okay, but what's the rest of the nutrient count that it looks like? The sugar is a type of energy, and it's the quick type, which is then replaced by the grains in it for the long type. That's why a lot of times, if I need to pick me up for work, I'll have a honey bun, because the icing and the glaze or whatever is the sweet stuff that will give me a quick go, and then the bread within it will give me a long-term go. And there's really no crash because of that.
Okay. Also, I found the best way for you to actually know what it's actually saying, so you don't have to get confused with the cursive. It gives the website right on the back of it.
I was actually going to say, if you can't read it, look at the back, because it should be in regular print.
Well, yeah, it does say down there Zaps. I mean, but that's not where your main focus of the bag is. Not, you don't look at the barcode for the information. You're not a computer. So,
No comment.
the cookie, the brownie cookie, that devilish concoction that confounds me.
Delicious.
Yeah, this one doesn't.
I didn't say it did.
But you said the cookie, but you never mentioned that.
Well,
You said the
hold
cookie.
on. You said it was a brownie,
Yes.
but it's a cookie. Now, is it a cookie just because of
Chocolate
the?
brownie cookie.
Is it a cookie just because it's in the shape of a circle? What makes this brownie a cookie technically?
It can't be the round shape. Because then what's a gingerbread man?
Ooh.
A very, very gone awry experiment from World War II Germany. Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
I just want to know who assumed it's gender.
Are you really going there?
That is a whole different scope for a completely different channel. That is not. We're
Good night,
not.
folks.
We're not delving into that.
No.
Because realistically, they do actually have ginger woman cookies. They're just not made as much because the cookie critical it's really hard to find. So, no assumption of gender.
Well,
it's just that.
Nowadays, you can 3D print your cookies.
Yeah.
Have you seen that pancake 3D printer?
What?
This is news to you.
Yes.
There is a pancake 3D printer. It uses pancake syrup and makes you a custom-shaped pancake. Actually, I believe the griddle on it is designed in such a way that it does a certain layer first to make it more well-cooked, so you have shades.
Is it a 3D printer or just a printer?
Technically, it's a 3D printer because, batter is a mass that it has to extrude.
Well, so is ink. Because they don't all stamp down. Does it make a three-dimensional shape or not?
No.
Okay, then it's not a 3D printer.
Okay.
Oh.
It works with the many properties of a 3D printer by extruding, much like a filament, the batter.
Yeah.
But it prints in a two-dimensional plane.
Pancake bot?
Indeed.
But yeah, no, that's been around for a while. For that type of stuff, I should say.
Truly, we are living in the 21st
Honestly, I
century.
could see, however, someone making a 3D pancake batter to shoot the griddle high-powered lasers at wherever it's printing so the cooks has to go up. If
Okay.
anyone makes that, I'm the copyright holder. Screw you.
It won't be long till we're 3D printing all of our desserts.
Ice cream? These are all of our desserts.
I mean, I don't see why not. They make models out of ice. Why not ice cream?
I don't understand
And Jackberry ice is a
deep
hard enough
fried
flavor.
ice cream.
What's not to understand? You fry ice cream.
But
It
it actually melts ice cream.
How quickly, though?
Now,
That's the trick.
If I remember correctly, isn't that a dessert from Mexico? Deep
No, it's
fried
from the
ice cream?
state fair, dude.
Deep fried ice cream? The first time I had it was at a Mexican restaurant.
Okay. What's your point?
I don't think I have never heard of deep fried ice cream being a Mexican food. I sincerely doubt it. It sounds so obese. Like there's no other way to describe it other than very obese. Although that being said, Mexico.
Deep fried Twinkies.
Oh god. Mexico has surpassed the United States in obesity, or at least last time I checked.
So I am checking about the origins of deep fried ice cream, and it has
Japanese.
Well, look closer, and it says it's in debate, and it's actually being held all over the world, including multiple states. So,
Okay. I don't care where it started, it should be illegal and considered a war crime by the Geneva Convention.
Why?
To have
It's
something
delicious.
that artery clogging, and it figures you would have actually had it. You are a state fair type. I can see you at a state fair. Look, give me the deep fried.
Look at that.
what's your show?
There's ice cream in there.
Yes.
Yes,
It's just batter and ice
To
cream.
me, that looks like a turkey breast.
that's ice cream.
No. Mm-mm.
That is ice cream.
Mm-mm.
That was batter.
That is deep fried ice cream.
Yes.
There's a difference.
That is a war crime. That is a heinous act. That is against.
No, it's just drinking stitches. It's just like how you can throw your arm in boiling oil and not get burned.
Here you go,
just
and
have
there's the
layers of
ingredients.
green oil. Ice cream, oil, and batter, right?
Vanilla ice cream, 250 grams of digestive biscuits, 2 eggs, 1 tablespoon milk, and sunflower oil.
I refuse to accept the reality of deep fried ice cream.
It's right there.
So let me guess.
It's right in front
You
of
also
you.
think Pluto's a planet then, huh?
It is a microplanet, good sir.
Nope.
No, actually it is. So what? Anything that's been any food that's been around for more than 10 years and is well known is going to have varieties on it based all around the world.
I mean, just look at McDonald's, how they tailor between countries. It's pretty incredible how adaptive McDonald's
Honestly,
is.
I find it funny. A lot of people don't realize, or at least a lot of Americans I've met, don't realize that we were not the people who started for quadruple burgers. That was actually Japan.
I mean, to be fair, okay, I can't say this as a fact because I've never been to Japan, but it feels like Japan is, what's the word? The breeding grounds for many strange ideas.
To a large degree, I will agree with that.
But see, that's only our view as Americans from TV.
But
We don't know it's like that
have
for
you
a fact.
seen their
No.
have you seen their vending machines long?
We don't need to go there.
Yeah.
That is way.
For our audience, all I will say is they legitimately have one vending machine for every 4 people in Japan. That's literally how.
That's
many.
a lot of people getting very angry that something didn't dispense.
But I mean, and for further reference, they literally have everything: pizza, clothing. If you need work utensils,
Bitcoin.
it wouldn't surprise me. They have custom. They have ones for books. They have custom ones where you literally throw in your money, and all you know that you're getting is this white box about yay big, depending on how much you pay,
Like,
and it literally
Okay.
turns into a surprise. Like, you don't know what you're buying. You just know about how big the box is.
I do know in Dubai they have gold bar dispensers.
Yeah, ATMs. Yeah, I know about those. But
I would be really, really angry if that didn't dispense properly.
especially depending on how much you put in.
I think it was probably a minimum.
Probably, but still. But
Anyway,
yeah.
I think we're in the end game.
more or less. But real quick, the one weird
Use your words.
The weird thing from Japan that I'll bring up is the mustard cafes. Yes, there is a large enough audience of people in Japan that absolutely love various condiments. Just the condiment. Don't care what it's on. Don't care how they eat it. There's one for ketchup and one for mustard, to my knowledge. I'm sure there's more. But you can get mustard fondues, and literally the entire menu is mustard items.
That is the polar opposite of France, where they banned ketchup in schools.
Yeah. Right.
Well, anywho, the last thing really to discuss
But we-
is
You talked about the drinks.
But we have California.
Well,
You
hold
can't
on.
even have straws.
well
You can. You just have to ask for them.
because there was an issue with that for the disabled people, so they legally were in violation of the Americans with Disability Act. But the last thing about the drinks is again the syrup. As we all know, the common drinks between Coke and Pepsi throughout the nation can be tuned in each dispensary. So how is the syrup?
I feel like it was a little light on my Dr. Pepper, but perfectly acceptable.
You got a mix. It's kind of hard to tell with you.
Not necessarily.
It was half and half.
You don't count today. As far as the lemonade goes, it's not like if you had real lemonade, this would not compare because it's just not as like tangy is not the word.
Tang is a different thing.
Yeah. What word am I looking at? I don't know how to describe a lemon. I never thought about how to describe
Zesty.
it. Zesty.
That was
It's whatever this expression is. Whatever that expression is.
Sour.
I wouldn't say sour. So, okay, sour can definitely do that, but it's a different kind of anything. So I think that pretty much wraps it up, except for actually one last thing was the food worth the price we paid? I paid $10.98 for my sandwich, and that was what is it called again? The biggie? The huge?
A wreck. A wreck.
Well, a wreck, but yes, the size.
Oh, Bigs.
Bigs, okay. So
I'm going to say the price difference from regular to large, aka Bigs, is actually pretty decent. I mean, $1.50 or so.
$1.40.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it in this restaurant seems tuned to make you go for the meal and the larger sandwich because, they'd probably stock more of the big sandwich in anticipation for people looking at the deal and say, oh, well, it's not as good of a deal to not buy the full thing. So, but the reality is, okay, the drink and chips was an extra $2.50. The drink is definitely not $2 worth of drink, and the chips were just, they got a general assortment of chips. They're nothing special. They're not in-house brand or anything, so it's not like you're getting anything unique here.
For reference on the drink, they do have free refills.
So the free refills is obviously where you're paying a premium in that they're still going to make their money back on that because, let's face it,
Stuff's cheap.
Yeah. So that leaves the sandwich in question, really, which was $8. Well, $7.50, about $7.50. $7.50 for the big sandwich, and that's 9 inches, not 12, 9, which is like again very different from a lot of the restaurants we go to. But
also another quick note.
Well, hold on, let me finish up my sentence here.
It's on the price though. All the sandwiches are priced the same, save for like 1 or 2, based on size, not like
contents.
Most places every sandwich type is a different price per size.
I got 3 different types of meat and a cheese on my sandwich, plus certain add-ons like lettuce and mayonnaise is free, but things like a pickle, I believe, is extra.
Correct.
So, there's certain...
Don't come here if you like pickles.
Yeah. So, I would have to say for $7.50 for a 9-inch sandwich, the sandwich didn't taste like anything wow. It tasted like, okay, here's your average formula for your meats and cheese sandwich, and by the way, we're going to toast the bread. It's not a wow factor sandwich. There's nothing special about it. That being said, there's nothing bad about it either. It's just kind of mediocre. It's just kind of there. And to me, for what you're getting and the price, I think it's a little expensive, but it definitely could be worse, as we've seen at like Jersey Mike's, where they really charge a premium. So, I would say it's about right, if not just a tad bit pricey for what you're getting. What do you get?
I absolutely agree. I mean, I definitely don't have any issues with the sandwiches. Price is fine. I mean, there's cheaper sandwiches, but there's more expensive ones. So, overall, I've got no problem coming back, but it's probably not going to be my first choice for a while.
Yeah, it's not a place that's particularly memorable where you would say, oh, I've got to go back there.
Yeah.
It depends on what time of the year.
Why do you say that?
Remember when we first came here when it first opened,
Yeah.
they
but-
had that one sandwich.
Well, yeah, like I was saying in the
There
beginning,
might be
that's-
holiday specials, but that's
you really have
not-
to know your sandwich chain to kind of be aware of that if you're not getting ads constantly. And I don't feel like this is a chain where
I don't
people
think
are-
I've ever seen an ad for.
I have.
Well, in
if I
fairness,
have,
don't
I've
much.
looked
I actually
over
had a
it.
YouTube ad for it about 2-3 days ago.
Yeah. If I've ever seen an ad for it, I've glazed over it and it didn't give it a second thought.
Yeah.
This is really, a forgettable place. Which, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not a good thing either.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Mike? What did you pay? Paid about the same, right?
I do have one complaint.
What's that?
The booths aren't cushioned.
Yeah.
I suppose that is a thing if you're sitting for a while like we are. But, well, actually,
they
there's
do
seats.
have an outdoor area, so. if
Well,
you
that's
want-
new. That wasn't always there.
Was it? Okay.
So
Fair enough.
that might just be like a circumstantial thing.
Fair enough. No.
So, anywho, overall, the synopsis seems to be, eh. So,
That's a synopsis
with,
you want.
with that, we'll close out the episode with a toast. I'm gonna grab your cup. Well, they're refilled. They're free.
Eh.
Bye bye.